Right, so this is the acrylic isolation platform I made. So it's a piece of cast acrylic. It's about 30mm thick, and I think that's right. You can make them thicker, but I think that's just about right. It looks good. I think when it gets really thick, it looks too much. When I bought this piece of acrylic, it's polished top and bottom, and then the sides were cut and they weren't polished. And so what I did is I used a 400 grit, really fine paper, sort of wet and dry paper, and then frosted effect all around the sides. And if you do it really gently, you won't have loads of scratches. It's very smooth, and you won't see the rubbing of the grit paper onto the acrylic. So that was how I got the frosted effect. And then the platforms on the bottom, these are with special 3M tape, and these are just stuck to the bottom. They're not going to move anywhere. So that's those supports. And then the bit with the lighting, so that you can get these strips off eBay. They're about £10, and you can cut them to size. You have special parts where you can cut it. So mine was about 1 metre, and I've cut it down to about 50 centimetres. And then what I've done is I've used I think it was a Gorilla Glue here, and I've stuck it down in 5 places. Once it had set, then I smeared it all behind, then cleaned it all up, and now it's totally rigid. It's not going to move at all. Instead of making a casing for it to go on, I think that's quite good. You can remove it hopefully reasonably well if it becomes faulty, and you can just sand it back down and then put a new one on. And then here I've just bent the end of the cable, and it's got a connector here to go to the USB at the end. Okay, and then that's just stuck down with some sort of araldite, steel araldite I think it's called, and JB weld. That's it. That sticks that down there. And then I went for USB because I just feel safer than that. And you can get them with power supplies from China, but I'm not always confident on using the power supply from China, to be honest. So the lead comes up here, and then instead of having to glue the lead down here, I'll just use one of these tacky things that you can stick underneath, and then you can put one of these clips around to hold it in place. So it's easy, you know, you can remove it easily if you need to replace it. These USB, they usually last a long time, these lights. I don't think you can have a problem there anyway. And that's it really. And then it goes on to a support, which I can show you over here. So here we are with the acrylic platform, and it's on the spike supports here. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a record deck on top. We'll play a record, and then you can see it all working. Okay, so this is the platform isolation platform. So as mentioned before, it's 30mm acrylic, and you'll see I've frosted the edges, which come up quite well. So it's frosted all the way around. Got the supports there, so there's one at, as mentioned earlier, one at each corner, and then you've got the non-frosted effect on top and bottom. And you have to be careful not to get scratches on this, because when the light comes through, you'll see the scratch, so you have to be really careful there. And then, just before I turn it on and show you, we have the lights at the back, which they're stuck with an acrylic glue, so the lights here, and it's cut to size, the LED lights, with a USB connector, as shown, which goes down to the USB plug down there. And now we'll look to show you how effective it is. So that's with the blue light, and obviously it's coming in from the back, and you can just see it around the edge, but you can't see anything through. So yeah, I think that looks good. I mean, you can frost the top of the unit, and then it will be blue all across, but I actually quite like the effect where it's not, it's just on the edge. And so obviously you can change it to the colour you want. You put green, red, you can do it whatever you like, many different colours, or white, it's quite good. And then obviously the always effects if you really wanted to. So that's it really, and I think that costs you, it costs about £150 to make it yourself. Yeah, about 150 quid, depending on how much of the acrylic you want, because it's cast acrylic, it can be quite expensive. So you need to make sure you get your measurements right before making it. Okay, thanks for watching my video.